I would totter off. I think you're totter. I would go off. I would. How about the steak? Why are you buying steaks at a Walmart? I mean, isn't Walmart? They sell people do now. Steak, they get everything in like the Costco. I've never been in the Costco. I have a rule, neither have I. I have a rule that I won't go where they sell meat next to tires. I'm with you on that. I don't like TVs and meat. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, Tristan Thompson and Draymond Green reportedly scuffle. Chris Sale is headed to the DL, and Serena Williams suffered the worst loss of her career. But we begin today with the Washington Nationals, who are suddenly resurgent, at least against the terrible New York Mets. The Nats put 25 on the Mets last night. That is right, 25. This afternoon, they beat the Mets 5-3. Wilbon, do you connect this to General Manager Mike Rizzo's vote of confidence he issued yesterday while keeping Bryce Harper?
Not yet. The time may come when I do that, where you look back on something and say, aha, that was the turning point because they won 21 of 26.
That's right.
And you could do that, but I'm not doing that today.
Rizzo now taking a more active role. Rizzo traded one of the relief pitchers, fired one of the relief pitchers, more active.
Are you already there? Are you ready to look at this right now in real time and make that connection?
There are three things at play here that I think are important. One is Bryce Harper, obviously. Can Bryce Harper, who's batting 220, whatever it is, can he go through August and September at 300 to 320 and carry a team on his back? Because he's capable.
Can he done it?
One is Steven Strasburg, who is not available to that team.
Often not available.
When he's available, he's a dominating pitcher. Yeah. Will that happen? And another one, an interesting small one to me, is the Trey Turner situation. Trey Turner issuing, because you talked about Sean Doolittle yesterday. Mm-hmm. Trey Turner issued a tearful, and I thought correct and complete apology. Will fans and teammates rally around?
I think, the bottom line is this. Is 5.5 games out of first place insurmountable? Hell no.
No.
Tony.
But it's not done every year.
The team with the best record, at least until last night in the National League, the Cubs, they've given up 3.5 games on their league to where it's even in 48 hours. They gave up a 3.5 game lead. So 5.5 is nothing to eclipse.
But the Nats will probably ought to play for the wild card. Probably have to win their division.
Okay.
There are at least 8 teams in the National League with a better record than the Nats. Like, we can sit here and say the Braves and Phillies aren't great, but the Nats aren't great.
The Braves and Phillies, they're better than the Braves and Philly to me.
And they have so many divisional games left coming up.
So you play these teams 19 times, 18, 19. They have half those games remaining.
As you know, since we were watching, I was afraid the reliever was going to give up the lead today.
This is after 25-4 last night, or whatever.
That was a preposterous
score that was. The Red Sox will take a 5.5 game lead over the Yankees into this weekend series in Boston. But you wouldn't want to use the word insurmountable with the uncertainty over Chris Sale, who's now on the DL with shoulder inflammation. The Sox say this is mostly a precaution, and they don't want to take any chances. But the flip side is, Sale has a career record of 25-31 after August 1. Tony, big concern or little concern for the Sox?
Sale looks like Nerlens Noel out there. He wonder about his stamina, which is why the August and September statistics.
Yes, he wears out every year.
He's their number one pitcher. In his last 6 starts, he's 5-0 and has an insignificant ERA. So if you lose him, he leads the American League in ERA. He leads the majors in strikeouts. If you lose him, of course, it's of great concern. But as you point out, he has looked like a Cy Young pitcher before. And gotten to August and September and has struck.
June, July, like 5 times for the White Sox. Seems like it. I know the stat hands would go crazy because this isn't exactly it, but it feels like he's 13-3 every year, and he goes 17-12. This is what it feels like because it's close to that. And so, if this is a precaution, by the way, this would be smart of the Red Sox. And I know you have to
hold him out against the Yankees.
Tony. You don't want to wind up in that single game wild card situation. The Yankees don't want to wind up in it, which is why they're going for it.
One of them will. Here's the thing, and put this in some sort of perspective. Chris Sale pitches every 5th day. Okay, he'll be lost for a couple of turns.
Make it every 6th.
Aaron Judge, he's out from every day.
Sanchez is out too.
So
a month.
Great teams, and I think they're both great teams. Great teams have to replace players during the course of the year. They have to replace.
You know what you can't replace? Your ace. You can't.
But Mike, as you said, he's not your ace in August and September. Not your ace.
Walking the line.
This is for you. This is in your wheelhouse. This is about your Chicago Bears. Please. Their number 1 draft choice and the number 8 draft choice overall, linebacker Roquan Smith, is the only first-round pick in the NFL who is still unsigned. The Bears want language in his contract that will allow them to recoup Smith's guaranteed money if Smith is suspended for violating the helmet rule. Smith doesn't want to sign that. Well, on whose side do you want?
To make this very clear, there's only one side to be on, Roquan Smith's side. Because the Bears drafted him because they wanted a continuation of the Hall of Fame linebackers they trotted out for about 80 years. But the last of them, you know, too. Butkus, Singletary, Urlacher, that's what we do. We don't have quarterbacks. We have people like Roquan Smith. And they can't even get him in camp because they will not even fall in line with what appears to be now a league practice of teams who have to also sign their rookie defensive players, taking this language out. You don't bring a guy in to hit people in the mouth and tell them, if you're suspended, we want you to forfeit part of your guaranteed money. This is irresponsible. It's offensively irresponsible, and the Bears should know better.
It's guaranteed money. They make a big deal about it being guaranteed money. Now, we're going to end up talking about this helmet rule a million times every week because, as we say all the time, this is a fundamental change in the football that we understand. And Roquan Smith was educated and learned in a kind of football that he's going to have to unlearn.
Praised, celebrated, and drafted high.
And he's going to have to unlearn it, as are a lot of people in the league. Given that, you can't start taking away their guaranteed because the rule.
He may have to pay fines as it is. Now you want to take away his guarantee. This seems petty. It's offensive.
It seems petty.
It's offensive. And if the Bears are to be taken seriously, it's a franchise that has missed the playoffs since 2010. Okay. They're the Seattle Mariners of the NFL right now.
Well,
they can't get back to the playoffs. But in the NFL, everybody makes the playoffs. You bubble up, you can go last and first, as easy as that.
Yeah.
If the Bears are going to be this petty and offensive, Tony, there's only one side to be on. You on that side?
Are you listening to anything?
I want to think.
Yeah, I'm on that side. Guaranteed fight.
They need Roquan Smith in camp today. Yesterday, I told a busybody friend, quoting from the website Gossip, that there's no way PTI would be talking about the alleged post-SB party dust-up between Draymond Green and Tristan Thompson. Now here we are talking about it. Depending on who and what you believe, Thompson either sucker punched Green or mushed his face, and LeBron James and Kevin Durant broke it up. This goes back to Draymond and Thompson not shaking hands in that NHL-style handshake line at the end of the finals, which you can see right here with the spot shadow and the arrow. Tony, something or nothing, Draymond versus Tristan.
First of all, big shout out to the ESPYs that this would happen in a post-ESPY party. I knew I should have gone to the ESPY. Second of all, big shout out to LeBron James and Kevin Durant for stepping in the middle. Third of all, Gossip. What is
that? Would be black gossip. I'm surprised you don't have that part.
So what was the question?
The question is big deal or little deal?
Well, if Tristan Thompson punched Draymond Green in the face, if he did that, I would say, now, I would side with Draymond Green, but I would say that's a big deal.
I'd say it's a big deal.
Really?
It's just beef. NBA beef is like rapper beef. It happens very early in careers, usually, except if you're our friend Charles Oakley. It might happen in retirement.
Right.
But for the most part, these things happen early on, and then they go away.
Guy for Draymond Green.
Draymond Green's still like 25.
He's got 3 championships.
I know.
He's an established guy.
And Tristan Thompson, I mean, this is just... Now, you know what happens here. Tristan Thompson gets teased a lot. People mention the name that he is associated with.
The Kardashians.
Yeah. And then he I'm sure...
What is the history of famous basketball players who get involved with the Kardashian family?
Well,
it's not great.
It doesn't end up all that well.
No. So, I mean...
You can't think this is a big deal. Well, you think Tristan Thompson's going to perform? Well, one report is, this would be sort of cool if you're Draymond, that Tristan punched him and he didn't go down. He just like shook it off.
Well,
that would be pretty... Is that Rubnet Odor? Remember that whole thing?
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
So, I mean, he didn't go down, so that would be good. If you're Draymond, you would just say, I'm not the horse and you're not Alex Karras. So let's keep it going. This is no deal.
Another great movie that cannot be made in America anymore. The culture has changed. Lazy Cat. Cannot make that movie. Brett McMurphy, who used to cover college football from ESPN, has a story on his Facebook page that says people close to Ohio State's Urban Meyer including Meyer's wife, knew about the 2015 allegation of domestic abuse against assistant coach Zach Smith. Now, Smith was recently fired for this. Meyer has said publicly he did not know about this incident, but Meyer did know about a 2009 incident involving the Smiths when Zach was an assistant to Meyer at Florida. Well, but what do you make of this?
Well, I'm not willing to connect the dots. I mean, very in a presumptuous way. I'm not willing to do that. The only way that I can go forward with this story is someone has got to prove conclusively what Urban Meyer knew and when he knew it. That's the deal.
Someone has to come forward and say, I told him.
Yes, or there has to be some paper trail. I mean, I guess there could be some documentation, emails. There could be things that you wind up concluding that Urban Meyer knew something. But in the absence of that today, Tony, I look at this and I feel sorry for his wife, for the victim in the Smith's wife.
Yeah.
I feel that, but I'm not willing to say, oh, Urban Meyer must have known. Are you?
I am not at the moment. I don't like Urban Meyer. I think he's very self-righteous, but he has the same rights that you and I have. And he can say, I didn't know about this. And the mere fact that his wife did know about it, and that it's reported that they're very close and they know everything, no, she could have shielded it from him. I don't know now, because if he knew it, it's fireable. It doesn't mean he will be fired.
Reported it up to the chain.
It doesn't mean he will be fired, but Ohio State could do that because it's a cover-up. But I have to know this before I go forward, and I don't.
It's got a lot of evolving to do.
Let's take a break. Coming up, is Tiger Woods ready to do what he's apparently about to do?
And does new information mean we need to take a second look at Paul George's first season as a member of the Thunder, Tony, meant for you?
It's very possible. I mean, coaches would like to have.
In 1931, Herman DeVry founded a university rooted in technology. Today, DeVry University continues that spirit of innovation, infusing tech in all we teach. DeVry University, forever forward.
Have plausible deniability. And people protect coaches, and they give them that, right?
Yes, they do sometimes, and sometimes they don't.
Pardon the interruption is brought to you by Gillette, the best a man can get. I'm going to need you to calm down. Change your seat. What?
Plans to play 5 of the next 6 tournaments.
It's curious. It's curious in the sense that Tiger doesn't do this.
That, no.
When Tiger was the greatest player in the world, Tiger played the courses he liked and the tournaments that he liked and did well on.
More like 1 out of 6.
So now you're saying he's
Five.
going to go out there and be in the infantry like Charlie Hoffman, like Kevin Na. It's just not what he does, and it got me to thinking, honestly, Mike, I'm wondering if by doing this, Tiger is saying, you know what, I've been out here for most of the year now, I'm going to try and play 5 or 6 in a row to see, should I continue this or not?
This is not 2000. I was screaming all year, Tiger's got to play more. Tiger's got to play more. He knows that. He knows it better than I do, but he has to play more. He's more mortal or closer to mortal. This is VJ-like that Tiger is playing in 5 of the next 6. You know what VJ would do? You remember? In 1999, he played 29 PGA events. So you know what that means worldwide? VJ played like 35 times.
He played all the time.
So 5 out of 6 was nothing. That was VJ's norm.
Do you think Tiger's ever done this?
No,
Never played 5 out of 6.
1 year he played 5 out of 6.
So you don't. So you don't think that there's any sense with Tiger as I'm at the verge now. I've got to see if I can go on or not.
Not on or not. This is for me to get to the point where I want to be. I've got to play more.
What if he doesn't win anything?
He's going next.
Paul George says he had a sack of blood on his shooting elbow all season. That's blank.
That's weak. Paul George can't make a shot to win a game. Paul George disappears when the greatest pressure is on. In Game 6, the last game against Utah, Paul George had 5 points in 45 minutes.
His elbow was messed
and shot 2 for 6.
He needed a drain.
Yeah, okay. So now what we're hearing is I've had a medical excuse. My arm hurt. I'm sorry. I know you love him. Playoff P, this is weak.
Tony, first of all, Paul George says he had a sack of blood on his shooting elbow all season. That's gross, is what I'm going to say. 18 to 20 ounces. That's like having one of those big Gatorade containers
Why didn't he take care of it during
on
the
his
season?
elbow. Maybe you can't. Maybe they think if you drain it, you're going to have to change your motion. If your arm is a pound and a half lighter, it's going to change your stroke. Oh,
well, his stroke wasn't any good. And by the way, that's the only sport where draining it is good. You want to be draining it?
Get off Paul George.
Next.
Okay, get off him.
Next.
It's blank that Serena lost one and love.
It's tankish.
Ooh.
Nobody.
Oh.
Now get access to the private beta.
Nobody beats Serena one in love, especially not the
48th
ranked person in the world, Johanna Konta. So look, Serena Williams at her worst is second or third in the world. At her worst. Now, so maybe this was a medical circumstance. I give her credit for that. Maybe the baby was unwell. Maybe she had a scheduling conflict. She realized she had to be somewhere else in 2 days.
Gotta leave.
But Mike, she lost 12 games in a row in less than an hour. It's impossible.
The key phrase here, as you say impossible, is had a baby. Like, it's understandable. She just had a child.
Well, she went to
7 months ago? It's less than a year.
She went to the finals and Wimbledon.
Okay, well, doesn't mean that she can consistently do that. Her health is not where it was when she was 24 years old.
Have you ever heard of the woman who beat her?
Well, so what?
Beat her 12 straight games?
Had a baby.
There's a greater explanation here.
How do you know? I know you think you're
I'm a doctor.
But you're not actual.
Next.
Benoit Paire went blank.
Dennis the Menace. The guy had a tantrum suited for a 2-year-old. He did this at the City Open, which is here in Washington, D.C., where our friend Mark Stern interviews the players.
Oh, my God.
You think he interviewed this dope? I wouldn't. You know what I'd do, Mike? I'd ban him from this tournament for the rest of time.
No.
One of these players should walk up to him and say, hey, grow up. Grow up.
He went crazy. I can identify
Match point, let it go. Why?
He went young Wilbon.
What?
I used to do that on tennis courts. I played
6, 7 rackets? How many rackets did you have?
Well, back then with the Jack Kramer wood, if you go 2 of those shots, you are done. It blows up in your face. Right. And I didn't have that many extra racks.
Going
all right, and Grant Park has been the scene of some of those tantrums. Those courts are still there. That you suspension. When my parents found this out, my father said, "You will sit down forever. You will never play anything if I hear of this again." He's a grown man, allegedly. He's got to go.
That's just
now.
Absolutely.
Suspension.
Absolutely. Get your words, Wilbon. Let's take one last break. Still to come, while announcing his retirement, D'Angelo Hall takes a parting shot at one of Wilbon's all-time favorite players.
I wonder who that is. And how will Cole Hamels perform in his first start as a Cub tonight? He better perform well because the Cubs stink lately. Stink.
He's a
lost 3 out of 4.
Quality.
We need him.
Pressure.
We're even. The Brewers have caught us.
Well, you're not even in the sense of being 500 like the Nats. You know, 1 over, whatever.
Standing.
Right.
Not good.
Kevin here says Mobile One annual protection is proven to protect for 20,000 miles.
It'll save you a lot of time.
That those extra time.
Sorry, buddy. Kevin and I have a tea time at 11. 20,000 miles, guaranteed.
Happy time, people. Happy 29th birthday, Madison Bumgarner.
Bad bum.
Just a few short years ago.
Hey, I just created a Wix website for my business. Let me show you how I did it. Let's go to Wix.com. I can add anything I want and change things as I go. Our business idea is big. It's a hotel in space. I know. It's mind-blowing. Now I'm going to add a beautiful gallery and switch up this layout. I love how these cosmic photos are displayed in the highest resolution. Every few days we post something new on our blog. Today's topic, life, zero, gravity. And FAQ is great because when it comes to space, you've got questions and we've got answers. With Wix Chat, we can answer any question at any time. I'll add Wix events so we can promote our big liftoff in 2021. Guests can register, buy tickets, and I can manage the whole guest list right from my site. Now, this is a website that's out of this world. Go to Wix.com. Create your stunning website today.
Mad Bum was considered as dominant as Clayton Kershaw and Max Scherzer in the National League. But different injuries to his shoulder and his hand have thwarted him. Over the last 2 seasons, Bumgarner's record is just 7-13. There's no more clamoring for him to be in the home run derby.
That's sneaky young. That means Mad Bum was like 21 the first time he was on a World Series winner.
He had 3, right?
The Giants
the
won 3 of
some
those
others
things,
have
and now he's like incidental, and they seem to be out of it, Tony. I thought they were coming all the way back this year, the Giants.
Happy anniversary to the U.S. Senior Open. On this day 10 years ago, Senior Open competitors at the Broadmoor Golf Club in Colorado were greeted by local wildlife all over the course. You'll see at least one bear, a fox, and a deer running wild.
With 2 of them.
Wilbon, on your course in Arizona, we have played through javelinas.
They can't see.
And there are deer in a lot of Northeast courses. But I don't go anywhere near alligators in Florida or South Carolina. And I would not set foot on a course where there is a bear.
I have done that. In Colorado, Tony, you can see a bear. I saw a woman chase a bear because the bear was chasing her dog.
No, that's craziness.
Seriously,
that's craziness. Happy trails to Jan Hervis Solarte twice. The Blue Jays infielder was the victim of 2 great plays by the Oakland third baseman Matt Chapman. First on a bunt attempt against the shift, and next again against the shift. Solarte's slapper is fielded by Chapman, who appeared to throw him out while moving backwards. It's a play.
But I want Arenado. If I'm going to take a guy, remember Chris Bryant's been hurt this year, but this year, Arenado, you got to take him, right?
Let me go back.
On all the third basemen.
You won't play on a course with alligators.
No.
But you'll play with a bear?
I didn't know the bear was there.
They'll kill you.
Alligator won't kill you?
Well, but bears are faster.
Alligators sneaky quick in small spaces.
No errors today. Let's go to the
Probably can't see you.
Eric Decker worked out for the Patriots. Since the fit,
he's okay to me. What do you think?
Well, I'm going to take the obvious answer. He's a white guy, wide receiver, and Brady's had a lot of great success with that.
Yeah, black ones too, I think.
Yes.
Dolphins coach Adam Gase says Frank Warner's look any different than he did 10 years ago. You believe that?
No, because as Shaquille O'Neal would tell us, 39 ain't 29, bro.
35,
He's 35. He's carried the ball 20,000
hell of a career. Great career.
You don't think he looks no?
Wearing out. Stop. Wearing out.
D'Angelo Hall retired today, and he said, quote, if I played against Jay Cutler, I'd be in the Hall of Fame, unquote. Your thoughts?
That should be on a plaque. But there's like 80 DBs and linebackers who all believe that legitimate. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar says there is no point to discussions about who's the GOAT in basketball. You agree with Kareem? You love talking about Kareem.
I do love Kareem. But Kareem was not beloved as a player by teammates or by the media.
Right?
He is so great as a writer now. He's so smart. He's so insightful. He's got great humor to the things he writes, often for the Hollywood Reporter. He's terrific.
Brilliant.
Last one, Cole Hamels gets his first start for the Cubs against Pirates tonight. Your prediction?
I got no predictions. I'm begging for a win. We're tired of Milwaukee. Enough.
We're out of time. We're trying to do better the next time. And I'm Tony Kornheiser.
Got Cole Hamels in this trade for him to be like Rick Sutcliffe was 34 years ago. I'm Mike Wilbon. Same time tomorrow, Knuckleheads. You can get the podcast on the app or Apple Podcasts.
Kids eat free tonight in chat.